Hello, today I'm going to start my no-dig potato trial for 2018. Trial is a very glamorous word for it, and experimenting and just trying to see what happens. So I've got 3 varieties of earlies, that's Arran, a Red Duke of York and Pentland Javelin, and the Pentland Javelins can be left to grow on to main crop. We'll see how we do with the other 2 and then I'll decide when I'm cropping them whether to leave the Pentland Javelin in for a bit longer to grow to bigger potatoes or not. My experiment is to see what's the best thing that we've got on site that we can use to cover over some no-dig potatoes. So last year my no-dig potato experiment had varying degrees of success. I placed the potatoes on top of the ground and then covered them with a permeable black plastic so the water would go through, and then when the leaves started growing I cut little slits in the top of the plastic and the plants grew through it. There was an awful lot of slug damage. I didn't really know what I was doing. It was worth a try, and what I learnt was I wasn't going to do it again. But if you're interested, I'll leave a link there. So this year I'm going to cover up different sections of that row with different coverings. So I'm going to be using the bedding from the chicken shed that has had about 6 months of sitting outside with the rain washing through it. It's still not decomposed yet by a long shot, but hopefully the worst of the burn from the chicken poop has gone. So that will be on one section. Another section will have partially decomposted wood chippings that they've been out for about between a year and 18 months, so they're looking pretty good. The next section will have leaf mould on it. Now that leaf mould is 18 months old, still not a fine crumbly yet, but it's getting there. And then the last section will have homemade compost from our compost bins. So I've put the paper label on with the name Red Duke of York here, but I've also used the plastic wired opening from a refill coffee pouch. I've just used a marker pen to put the name on it, so that even if this papery label dissolves away in the rain, we'll still have this plastic one, and hopefully that marker pen won't fade too much in the sun. I am going to put down some shop bought compost on the ground in a narrow row, just to give something for my seed potatoes to nestle into. I'm also going to put a very light sprinkling of this plant food down. All of the products in it are allowed by EU organic standards. And the only reason I'm using this is that this soil is really very poor. It hasn't had an awful lot added to it as yet. We're just in the far end of the diesel field, so it's not terribly good soil. I'm just going to give these potatoes a kickstart, and then a bit later on I will give it an organic potato feed. All of this is let's see how we get on. So for the last couple of months the potatoes have been in the boot room in this egg tray, and they're doing a process that we call chitting, which means that you keep them in a reasonably cool but frost-free place in the light, and then they start growing the shoots. And the theory is it just gives them a bit of a quicker start in the ground. So this leaf mould is now 18 months old, and some parts of it are not terribly well decomposed, and others are just looking lovely. And it's what I've got. And the thing about using this is that we already have this. We don't have to buy it in. It's a free resource. These leaves came from the big sycamore trees, and this is looking pretty good. It is looking good. Oh, it doesn't smell of anything other than, oh, it smells earthy. So I don't have quite as much of our homemade compost as I have of the other materials, because this is the oldest compost I've got, and that's all I've got of it. So hurrah hurrah, that's complete now with its first layer on it. I'm so excited. Hopefully it'll be really interesting to see how the different coverings have an impact on the plants growing, and maybe it will have none, maybe it will have something significant. Time will tell. So that's it for me today. I'm heading in to have a quick cup of tea, and then I'm going to come out and get on with these potatoes. And when I upload this video, I will start a playlist of my potato experiment for 2018, and I will put all of those videos together in that, so that at the end of the year you'll be able to see a succession of how they got on. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you can join all of us tomorrow.